Go. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started, I guess. So many people in here. Hey. I think Twyla just showed up. Anyways, so we'll start off with Halito. Achima chugma. Chugma. Ama chugma. Yakoki. Okay, so today we're kind of going to go over a little bit of recipient pronouns. Recipient pronouns. So I was just kind of explaining to y'all just a little bit about what recipient pronouns. Well, not really. We kind of brazed over it, but so recipient pronouns. What do you guys think when you hear that? Receiving, yeah. And so if if I'm an active verb, that means I'm the one that's doing something. So like haklo le, I am actively listening. But of course, you don't need the actively in there. But so I am listening. So I'm the one's doing it, right? Ish haklo, you're the one that's doing it, right? And then halito, blessed Nana, hey. Ishlaga achugma, pugni, uh-huh. So you could say pugni hulitopa, hey. Or something like that, yeah. Anyways, so like I said, if I said taloa, for instance, talowale, I'm singing. Ish taloa, you are singing. And then e taloa, we are singing. So those are the active pronouns, the ones that are doing it. I, you, we, we're the ones doing it. And so those are active pronouns, but recipient pronouns are the ones being done to. So if I'm singing to somebody, like I'm singing to you, I would say, I am singing to you. You are singing to me. We are singing to them. And so in that case, you, like when I say I am singing to you, you is the recipient pronoun because they're receiving that action. And then when you are singing to me, now I am the recipient pronoun. So me. And then we are singing to them. Now them is the recipient pronoun. So that's what we're going to be kind of going over a little bit. And so I put up the words. I know you can't see it right now, but with a little bit of magic. Woo! Look at that. Hey. Alito. So with a little bit of magic. Hey, no, I'm just kidding. I got the words up here. And so these are the ones we're going to look at. I put this one to the side because this one's a little different, along with a fama. So for you guys, we're just talking about recipient pronouns. And so we have anompole, which means what? Speak, to talk. Okay. What about taloa? To sing, or to be a song, or to be a singer. But in this case, we're using all of them as verbs. So it's just to sing. Okay. Achi, to say. Okay. What about makachi? Just to say that. Or it could be said as to say, but sometimes more specifically, it's to say that. Okay. What about hakalo? To listen. Yeah. And then, of course, we got pisa, to look. Yeah. Which we're going to get into that here in a second. So we got these ones. This is the ones we're going to kind of go over a little bit. So just like I was telling them, for y'all too that just came in. So active pronouns. We're looking at. So I'm gonna put a e active pronouns. We're looking at the words like ish, Lee, E, L, or the unmarked third person. Unmarked third person, which is he, him, or she, her, or whatever. So you got ish, Lee, E, L, and unmarked. So again, just for the ones that just came in. So whenever I sing, I'm saying taloa Lee, I am singing. And then ish taloa, you are singing. And then e taloa, we are singing. And so that means I'm doing it, you're doing it, and we are doing it. And then if we want to say anompoli, we can say il anompoli, we are speaking. So those are active pronouns. And now we're going to get into recipient pronouns, which when we say to sing, you can say, I am singing to you. I'm just going to leave out the other stuff, but we're all English speakers, so you know what I'm saying. Or we can say, you are singing to me. And then we are singing to them. And so, like I said a while ago, when we say taloa, I'm singing, ish taloa, you are singing, and then e taloa, we are singing. So it's always going to be like this. But so these ones right here, these are the recipient pronouns like you, me, them. It could also be him or her or to us. It could all be all of those. And so, just for ease of um, understanding, I guess, I just figured this out. Well, I didn't figure it out, but I found out that it probably would help if I do this. So give me a second if I can erase all this. It's so long. Okay. So if I put it in a different color, I sing to you, you sing to me, we sing to them, him, or her. Then they, oh, they sing to us. Like I said, I'm not gonna write all the in between stuff. So we're in English speakers, so I am singing to you. So I don't want to write all that. I'm just being lazy. So you are singing to me, we are singing to them, him or her, or they are singing to us. And so these one in the blue, this is the recipient pronouns because they're what? They're receiving the action, right? So these are the active pronouns. I, you, we, they. The recipient pronouns, we are receiving it. So you, me, them, him, her, us. And so from here on out, I'm going to try to use blue as our recipient pronouns. Okay? So what was the first word that we went over that was up here? Anompoli. Okay. I'm going to put it right up here. We use it as a reference. Okay, so anompoli. Let's just go over the active side. Okay. How do we say I am speaking? Anompoli le. Anompoli le. Anompoli le. Okay. So of course I'll write it here. Anong polile. That's how you say I am speaking. Okay. How do you say you are speaking? Ishanong puli. Uh-huh. Ishanong puli. So that's active still. Ishanong puli. You're the one that's doing it. Okay. What about we are speaking? Close. What'd you say? Huh. Ill. There you go. There you go. Yeah. It wouldn't be cool. Oh, I don't know what just happened. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, ill. So we are speaking Illanompuli. Illanompuli. Okay. What if I said just Anompuli? He or she is speaking, or they. Sometimes you could say that he or she is speaking. So all of those are active. Those are active. Okay. And so I'm gonna go ahead and write all of those up here, just like we did a while ago. We got, I know the board is sensitive. Okay. So again, Anompalili, I'm speaking. Ishanompali, you're speaking. Ilanompali, we're speaking. And Anompali, he or she is speaking. Okay. And so that's just the active side. So you could just say that. Chatanompa anompalili. I'm speaking Choctaw language. Noholonompa ishanompali. You're speaking English. Uh, I don't know. Oshpani imanompa ilanompali. We're speaking Spanish, but that's a lie because we're speaking Choctaw. Okay, and then you can say Choctaw nompa anompali. He or she is speaking Choctaw. Okay, and so where it gets a little tricky is so let's go over our recipient pronouns. Okay, so there's two sides of every coin. It seems like in Choctaw, and so for one side, of course, I'm gonna do it in blue here. M or E. Then you got or Then you got Jim or Chi. And then you got uh Pim or P. Okay? M or E. Who wants to guess what that one means? Usually we don't have a pronoun, an active pronoun for it, but we do have a recipient pronoun for it. So he or she. So M or E, him or she, or like him or her, really, him or her. Because active pronoun would be he or she, but recipient pronoun would be him or her. Okay. And then and which pronoun do you think that one is? Me. Me. So or okay. Yeah, there you go. Then you got chim and chi. You. So chim or chi, and then pim or p. We or us. Us. Because ill or e is we, but pim and p is us. Okay. So these are recipients. And that's tough. I know. I know. It's mind blowing. And so why do we have two? Does anybody know? Yeah, exactly, exactly. Because Choctaw loves to do vowel consonant rules, and so for M, you would always do it with uh, a vowel, and then with E, you're always going to do it with a consonant. The same thing with and ah. You would do with a vowel, and you do it with a consonant. Chim with a vowel, chi with a consonant. So you notice all these nasals here are all with a consonant, but all these M forms, I always say M forms because they all have M's in it. These M forms are always used with a vowel. Okay? So now that you know that, let's look at an example. So we did anompoli, right? So let's go with, how do we say I'm speaking? Anompoli, okay? Okay, complete sentence. That makes sense. You can say that and it'll be correct. Okay. So now, how do we say I am speaking to him or her? Ah, well, no, I am talking to him or her. No, because that would be you are speaking. So remember our recipient pronouns. M. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Emanonpolile. Emanonpolile. And you see we used M instead of E because this word right here starts with a vowel. It's a vowel, and so we use the M form. Okay? And so that means I am speaking to you. So they always say everything is reversed from English to Choctaw, and a lot of that's true. So you notice this in this case, because we would say I. So in English, of course, you say I am speaking to you. Let me erase this real quick. Okay. So that's kind of what it looks like in English. I speak to you. But in Choctaw, it's completely flipped. So we say Imanonpolile, or sorry, not you. That's my fault. So I am speaking to him. I am speaking to her. Whatever, whoever you're talking to. So if I was talking to Ross here, I would say Imanonpolile. That means I'm speaking to him. But if I was talking to Karen, then I would say Imanonpolile. That means I'm speaking to her. So that's why I say context plays a huge role in our speaking. So M, we use it because uh, this word here starts with a vowel. Okay, and so let's keep that in mind. Now we're going to look at the word taloa. Okay, so we have, which I should lowercase that, I guess. Talowale. Talowale. What does that mean? I am singing. Okay. I am singing. So perfectly good sentence. Everything's correct. You can say this and it'll be 100% correct. I am singing. So if I was like, hello, Ale, I'm telling the truth. I'm singing. But it's just, it does sound kind of weird when you say it by itself. And so, how do you think I would say I am singing to him or to her? In talo wale. Yeah, chukma. In talo wale. In talo wale. Now, why did we use in instead of m? Ah, because taloa starts with a consonant. Because it sounds weird if you try to say im taloa, im taloa. So it sounds better to say in taloa. Okay. And so this just means I am singing to him or to her. Okay. Does that make sense? Chuma. So cool thing is, what if I want to switch this one? I'm speaking to you. So would it be, say again? Well, we're doing this one. So it starts with a what? So you would use what? Not chi, chim. There you go. Yeah. So we would oh chimanonpalile, chimanonpalile. So anytime it's got an M, if you hear imanonpale, you can say chimanonpale, amanonpale, himanonpale. They're always going to have that M in there. And so, of course, um, imanonpale, talking to him, chimanonpale, talking to you, amanonpale, talking to me, and himanonpale, talking to us. Okay? So, chimanonpale, chimanonpale, chimanonpale. Okay, so now this one, I'm singing to him or her. How do we say I'm singing to you? If in talowale is I'm singing to him or her, how would you say I'm singing to you? Chin talowale? Yeah. Chuma. Chin talowale? Chin talowale? So I'm singing to you. All right. Does that make sense? So when it's coming with the I, it's always going to be like this. So the recipient pronoun is going to be up here, your verb, and then you got le. So chin talowale, I'm singing to you. Chimanonpalile, I'm speaking to you. Does that make sense? You guys okay? Okay, just making sure. I don't want to get you guys confused. Okay, now here's the part where it might get confusing. Okay, so now we're gonna do ishanonpale. So what does that mean? Who? Yeah, there you go. Ishanonpale means you are speaking. Yeah, you are speaking. Okay. Okay, so this is where it's going to change. And so I'll just show you so you guys don't get confused, okay? Because in English, we have what? If I wanted to say, you are singing to him, okay? You would say, you are talking, sorry. You are talking. Oh, I don't know what I was doing there. Talking to him. Okay, so you are talking to him. So you would think it would be like flipped, like I said with Lee, but if we flip it, it would be kind of weird. Okay, so how do we fix this? I'll show you. I guess I'll do it like this. So you squeeze the recipient pronoun right in the middle. So ish anumpule, ish anumpule. It's still right. You are talking. So this one's the active verb, right? But now it's the recipient pronoun that's in the middle. Ishim anumpule, ishim anumpule. So aside from li, this is how the structure is going to be always. Ishim anumpule, okay? Like I said, I know this is going to be wild. That's why I started off with li, because it's a little bit easier. But ishim anumpule, okay? So knowing that fact, how do you think we would say you are singing to him or her? So how do you we'll just break it down first. How do you say you are singing? Ishtaloa, okay? So we know that much, right? Ishtaloa. You are singing, right? Say again. Ish-in. Ish-in taloa. Chukma, yeah. Ish-in taloa. You are singing to him. You are singing to him or her, depending on who it is. And so you notice that when we take off the ish, we're left with, let me just go ahead and do that physically. That way you can see. We take off the ish, we notice that we only have Imanopoli and Italoa, right? So that means speaking to him or her. I don't know why I keep just saying him. Speaking to him or her, or singing to him or her. So now the regular way to add a what do you call it? Active verb is to add ish, and of course it's just like this: ish taloa or ish anompoli or whatever. And so instead of moving everything around, you kind of keep it the same, except for you just move the recipient pronoun in the middle. So again, ishim anompoli, ishin taloa. So other than li, all the rest of the pronouns and stuff are going to be like this in this structure. And so what it's going to look like is uh, active pronoun, recipient pronoun, then verb. Okay. So you have your recipient pronouns and your active pronouns, and you have your verbs. Can't even think. This is pretty much how it's going to be. Other than Lee, Lee is the only one that's going to be different. Okay. And I'm going to throw a curveball at y'all. Hope you guys are ready, even though I just kind of did a while ago. So going back to Taloa, right? Okay. So how do we say we are singing? We. E. E Taloa. E Taloa. So knowing this little formula here, so active pronoun, which is E, recipient pronoun, we haven't established that yet, and the verb, taloa. How will we say we are singing to him or her? Huh? It wouldn't be M because it starts with a T, a consonant. Let me just move this over a little bit. And so we still have in taloa, right? But doesn't that sound weird? In taloa, in taloa. So what do we need to do here? So the rules are still play a huge part. So this one can't have M because of consonant, but this one also can't be here because it's a vowel. So in that case, E needs to turn to ill. Ilin taloa, ilin taloa. So no matter what, the vowel consonant rules still play a huge part. Does that make sense? And stuff like this is kind of crazy because we went from Italoa, which is perfectly normal, perfectly correct, 100% correct. Italoa, we are singing. But remember, we use E when there's a consonant. But since we're using we only use ill with vowels, and the E is a vowel. So here it's right because we use E because T, it starts with a consonant. And so that's why we change it up like that. But if that's too much, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much because a lot of times that's the only thing that'll change if it's E to ill. I don't think there's ever a time where you need to switch it to from ill to E unless it's here to here. But I digress, anyways. And so that's the only thing that I can think of right now. Oops, I don't want to erase all of it. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have your vocabulary list or whatever, but let's try to make some sentences. Okay, just remember this formula here. So you got your active pronouns. Here, I'll even write some of it up here. So ish, be, uh, e, l, even hush, and then you got e, m, uh, ah, um, chim, chi. Cool, I did that backwards. Pim or p, sorry, and even chi, chim. I know my handwriting is getting worse and worse as I as I go down. Okay, and then we got verbs. So whatever verb you choose. So let's try to think of a few sentences here. So you have all of this, right? Um, I guess it doesn't help if I have all of this written there. Has everybody got this? Yes. Ah, hush. Yes, that's like you all. Because ish is just you, one person. So singular, plural. Same here. Singular, she, chim, and plural. Hachi, hachim. Okay. Singular, plural. Okay. Got that? Okay. I'm going to erase this real quick. Okay. Let's try to come up with some sentences. Okay. So if you're having trouble, just think, how do I say it just one way? Like, how would I say um, he he's listening to me? Well, first of all, how do you say he's listening? You probably just say haklo, right? Haklo, he's listening. And then all you have to do is add the recipient pronoun in there. Ah haklo, he's listening to me. Okay? But I just kind of gave that one away. So think about some of the sentences like that. So somebody give me a verb that we can generally use with other people, like two people. Just any verb. Ikana, ikana, like to learn. Okay, so we have the verb ikana. Okay, obviously, if it's a Lee sentence, then Lee would be right here. Okay, all right. So, what kind of sentence do we want to make with this? I'm learning. Well, in this case, you can't really say I'm learning him. I'm learning you. I'm learning us, or we're learning us. So you got to be learning something or from something, right? So I'm a little add a little more onto this verb. So ikana to learn, but I'm gonna add I. So that means learn from. Learn from. Okay. So now we can use this. So somebody give me a active pronoun. Ish, li, il, e, hush, cool, hey. You can say it in English. I, we, you, y'all, just anyone. Just pick a random one, whatever one comes to mind. It, I, you, me, we, us. Just pick one. I. Okay, I heard I. Okay, so we got a pronoun, active pronoun. So we got Lee. So obviously it's going to be here. Oh, sorry, my bad. Active. So I need it to be Losa. Okay. Now somebody, we got to make it make sense. Okay. I am learning from who? So I can learn from you, I can learn from him, I can learn from her, I can learn from you all. Ah, well, we're using pronouns, but you can say that too. You could just say, but okay, let's actually, let's do that. So you say Josh, but you still need a pronoun. You can't just say Josh I Canali. I'm learning from Josh, which that would make sense, right? But with Choctaw sentences, the pronouns have to be there no matter what. Pronouns have to be there. It's like I was telling them earlier. Whenever we're saying like, what are you listening to? You can't just say nanta hakalo, because if you say nanta hakalo, that means what is he listening to? What is she listening to? Rather than what you wanted to say, which is what are you listening to? So you got to say nanta ish hakalo. So likewise, if you're learning from somebody, you can't just say Josh I kanali. We need another pronoun. And so is Josh in this sentence a you, or is it a me, or is it a us, or is it a him, or is it a her? I hope it's not a her. So which pronoun would we use? Because you're what is the English sentence? I'm learning from him. There you go. So you still use that. So now it's a complete sentence. Josh in my kanale. Josh in my kanale. So I am learning from Josh. It's almost like saying, Josh, I learned from him. That's literally what you're saying. But in Choctaw, when we kind of translate this to English, we could just say, I'm learning from Josh. And so I don't know if you guys checked out my YouTube, but my YouTube's Josh Ibaye Kana. Ibaye Kana. So Ibai means with him, and then I just mashed it together. Ikana, Ibai Ikana, learn with Josh. But also, you see, notice how I still said Josh Ibai Ikana. Because if I said Ibai Ikana, just learn from him, learn from her, learn from it. A. And so you always in Choctaw, you still have to have recipient and active pronouns. So in this case, if I really wanted to like help you guys out, I'll probably put it like this: Ibai ikana, Ibai ikana, because this pronoun means him or her. All right, does that make sense? Is anybody lost? Is it way too much right now? Because I know recipient pronouns are one of the hardest things after learning the initial like vowel sounds and how Choctaw sentences work. Learning recipient pronouns just makes it twice as hard. But it's easier once you get to speaking and once you see it a lot more and stuff like that. Um, and so I know some people might get upset that I'm going to say this, but uh, at Tuskahoma, I think they have like the council house, and they call it, which I guess it's okay. I don't know. They call it Okala Choka, which means people house. People house. So when you got two nouns, you can just leave it like that. But to me, if you want to say the people's house, then you would need to Ogala Inchoka, Ogala Inchoka, the people's house. Because I think that sounds a little bit more better. A little more better. Cool. Hear me? I can't even speak English. So yeah, that's how it would be. But like they have it just Ogala Chuka, which means people house. So a lot of times when you have two nouns together, and I know I'm going off topic a little bit, but I guess it's kind of relevant. Like if I wanted to say, uh, I don't know, uh, I can't even think of a word where it has two nouns describing something. I'll come back to it later because I can't think of anything right now. Uh, yeah, I can't think of nothing. Mine's blank. Anyways, so that's a good sentence. Josh Imai Kanali. Okay. Let's pick a different one. We have about 15 minutes left. Let's go ahead and somebody give me another verb. Pisa. Okay. Uh, so let's. I'm glad we're kind of getting into this one because this one is that. This is why I had this one to the side because this one's going to change. Like that's why I say buckle down just a little bit because recipient pronouns are weird and they're difficult. Okay, so um, I'll just go ahead and tell you. Um, so we're looking for something, right? So give me an active pronoun. I am, you are, we are, they are, y'all are, one of those. You are, okay? I hear a you are. So we got ish. Ish pisa, perfectly normal, perfectly correct. Ish pisa means you're looking, okay? So now, what are you looking for? Nanta ish pisa, okay? So now we need a recipient pronoun. So who's receiving it? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be them, him, her, huh? Them? Okay. Buckle down here. You are seeing them, right? You are seeing them. You can say that. Ish pisa. So with pisa, it doesn't require a personal pronoun or recipient pronoun. Why? I have no idea. So here, let me give you a different example because that one's like it doesn't make sense in itself, but let's still use pisa. But let's look at all the other ways you can say it. So like pisa, they'll say le. So how would you think I would say I'm looking for you or looking at you? And the funny thing is, it's not gonna be chi or chim. It's not gonna be ish because that's active. Let me use a different color. Chi. No nasal and no M. Chi pisale. I'm looking at you. So looking at this, you guys might have noticed something whenever we say something. Of course, pisa means to look, but when you nasalize it, it becomes to see. So now the sentence is saying, I see you. Chi pisale, I'm looking for you. But once I found you, chipinsale, chipinsale, I see you. Okay? So if we use that, chipinsala. So that means I'll be sure to see you. I'll be sure to see you. But I think because you don't actively do this to somebody, like you don't write on them, or you don't write for them, or you don't look for them per se, or you don't look, uh, I don't know. I think the fact that it's looking, it's just direct to them, And so that's why we say chi instead of chi, and chim. I know doesn't make sense at all. That doesn't make sense at all. But this one, I think it's because your body's not actively doing something. So when your body's not actively doing, even though your eyes are really the ones doing it, your body's really not doing something to that person really, except just seeing them. And so my mom asked me how to say to meet you, I'm meeting you, or something like that. It's almost the same thing. So I'm gonna say afama, and we can go over this again next week because I know this is totally blowing your minds right now. So just a family by itself means I'm meeting, I'm meeting, but this one's almost like incomplete a little bit, or maybe a family like I met him, I met her. So this one also doesn't require a recipient pronoun for him or her at least. But if I wanted to say I'm meeting you, you would say she a family. But you also know it breaks the rule. But like I said, with words like afama, pisa, um, when they don't have any body movement to it, I would say, just think of it about that. If I'm talking to you, that means my mouth is moving. If I'm singing to you, I'm using my voice to sing to you. But also, if I'm giving it to you, if I'm sharing it with you, if I'm throwing it to you, there's a lot of that movement with your body. But when you see somebody per se, I mean, your eyes do move, but it could be just like, oh, I see you. It's not like my eyes are just like, you know, constantly looking or whatever, I guess. And then a fama too. How would you describe a fama as a movement? You can't really you can't say my body met you because that would sound weird. That would sound almost inappropriate. And so when you meet somebody, it's not physical. Does that make sense? When you meet somebody, of course, I come up here, I say, Alito, Chiafama likat sanayukpa. I'm happy that I'm meeting you. But the meeting part is not necessarily physical. It's we see each other. I guess that's why Pissa is like in that non-physical kind of confrontation thing or whatever. So Chia family, which I don't want to get into this too much, but because of the non-physical verbs, you have a whole new set of recipient pronouns. So chi is you, obviously. Then you have si or sa, he, and hachi. So that's why I always say hachi pinsalachigi. Hachi pinsalachigi. I don't say hachim pinsalachigi, or I don't say hachi. And there's kind of a reason for that. Because if I said hachi pinsalachigi, that's almost like saying, oh, I'll look at it for you. I'll be sure to look at it for you. So that's why we use chi. I'll see you. Like I said, I know I'm blowing everybody's mind, and I'm sorry. So let's look at this. So this is the last thing because I know you guys are overflowing with knowledge and it's too overwhelming. So Chapisali, I see you, right? I see you. But if I said chi chipisali, that's like saying, oh, I'll look at it for you, or I'll see it for you. So like if someone says Kayama Isa Pisa Hinlaho, can you look at that car for me? Or something like that. And so this one's I see you, but this one's rather I'm seeing it for you or I'm looking at it for you. Okay. So like, hey, can you make sure those beans are done? I was like, well, me, Chin Pin Salahina. I'll look at it for you. I'll look at it for you. Okay. I know it sounds kind of weird, but that's kind of the thing. Now we're making it active, doing it for you rather than doing it to you. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and I know, and I'm sorry, but this is the kind of things that we say in Choctaw. We say these things, and so, but you don't really say this a whole lot. This one right here, but you do say this one a lot. So if anything, oh yeah, then you need that cut. Yep. Chapin salikat sanayok pa. I guess. Chapin salikat sanayok pa. Chapin salikat sanayok pa. I'm happy to see you. But like in English, if you really kind of want to try to break it down just a little bit, I am happy. Cut can sometimes mean like that or of the kind of thing. So in this case, I would just say like, son, I am happy that I am seeing you. Is really what you're saying. But you can say, Chipi saligat sanayok ba? I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you. Or rather, I'm happy that I'm seeing you. And of course, we could also do this is what I'll say to y'all. Kachapin salikat sanayok ba? Kachapin salikat sanayok ba? And so I'm happy to see you all. Kachapin salikat sanayok ba? Sanayok ba? Yokpa. And so there are some people um, that might say it like this. Nasa yukpa. That's okay too. It's just different dialect thing. But me, as for me in my house, we're gonna say, "Hey, not just kidding." No, just kidding. No, but like I've always heard "sana yukpa." Like I said, that's not wrong at all. That's perfectly fine too. If you want to say that, you can say that. There's a lot of people that say that, but I just prefer to say "sana yukpa," which is crazy because in Chickasaw they say "asa yukpa," which is almost like "nasa yukpa." But still, this is how I learned it, and this is how I prefer it. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions? Is is everybody baffled, confused, and bewildered? All the above, Hachi A. But if you can just remember like the basic ones, like Chipinsali, Chimanumpolile, Chintaloale, that'll get you by. And so I'll go ahead and write that for you. Just for a last thing, just so you know, like just even if it's just these three sentences, start with these and then build upon that, okay? And then we got just start with Lee and then work your way up to we or you or us, they, them. Chipisali, Chimanupalili, and Chintalowali. Just start with those. If anything else that you've learned today, just start with these. Okay? And that will help you on your way. Because these are the three ways you can use recipient pronouns: chi, chim, or chi. So these two are the same. They're just depending on vowel consonant rules. And this one depends if it's non physical. So, does that help a little bit? Okay, so this is um, second to last week. Next week will be the last week. And so, all of you guys, hope will study over the summer, or at least try to remember some words. Before we go, I just want to say thank you guys. Hachia Kugile, Hashladuga, uh, Hachia Kugi, Hachimachi Sabanna. I just want to say thank you to you all for keep coming. Falamat Hashlaga Achuma. It's good that you guys keep coming. Um, I know, like, I throw a lot at you, and I throw a lot of stuff where you get confused, like this stuff right here. It's tough stuff, but the end all be all is if you can't remember this stuff, just break it down. Just say this: Pinsale, Anompolele, Taloale, Ishanompole. Just break it down. Break it down to the smallest form, and then once you start adding things, you can start saying bigger things. Like, what is li? I. Ikana, to learn. Ikanale, I'm learning. I kanale, I'm learning from. Imai kanale, I'm learning from him. Josh, Imai kanale. See? Then all of it just adds up until where you can speak. So if you can't speak these long things, start with this. It's okay. It's okay because you're learning. You're starting out from square one. You're starting at the very bottom. You got to be humble enough to say, "Oh, I'm not there yet. I need to start back here." Because a lot of times it's just like with weight training or starting a new job or starting something new, you always got to start at the bottom. And so when you remember that you start at the bottom, it kind of makes it a little bit better. You're like, okay, well, give myself some grace because I'm still learning. I still don't know it yet. But think about how much you guys know now compared to how much you learned when we first started. I mean, when we first started, it's like pulling teeth trying to get you guys to say anything, even to say halito. And then now it's like, every time we come in, you guys are greeting each other in Choctaw, which is, I don't think you guys know how much of a big step that is. Coming in here all shy and stuff, and then not saying anything and always speaking English, but then coming into now, even just a simple greeting, that's a milestone. You guys need to be proud of that. Okay. And so I'm happy to see it and I'm glad to see it. Now you just need to keep going on. Okay. Keep adding on to your repertoire. Don't lose it. I might be ending our class next week for the summer, but we're going to be back sometime in August. I haven't decided yet. But the moral of the story is keep on working. Keep on working. It doesn't, the train doesn't stop just because you want to rest or you feel like giving up. The train's going to keep on moving. It's up to you to keep getting back on. Keep getting back on that train. It's tough. It's tough. It's not easy, but just learn a little bit at a time, like I said. Anyways, I want to keep repeating myself just in different ways if I don't stop. That's the one thing about talking, and you can say the same thing, but just turn it a different way. Okay, so does anybody have any final questions or I don't know, any words of encouragement maybe? Yakuki, Yakuki. Okay, well, I guess I'll see you guys next week. Next week, ma hachpi salachigi. Makalla hachpi salachigi. Omi. Let me look at my peeps. Hey, San Pisajo. Yeah, something like that. Would you say that though? Hey, it's a different way of saying it. It helps with the flow of sentence. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot to go over that. We'll go over that next week. Your brain hurts. I'm sorry. Are you looking at me? Isapisaho. That's how I would say it. Isapisaho. So I don't know if I can write it. So I would write it like is sa pisa home. Are you looking at me? Isapisaho. Isapisaho. So it changes instead of saying sa, because if you say isa pisa home, that's like, are you looking at it for me? And so you gotta say isa pisa home. Are you looking at me? Anyways, we'll kind of go over that next week. I'll probably write I'll make a document with all that stuff on there and I'll post it. And so me, Yalik Makalla, I better go. Uh Next week ma Hachpi Salachgi. Yeah. It's a pizza. Well, I would spell it Pesa. Even that one changes. So it's a pizza versus pizza or pizza. It's a pizza. Pesa. Homie, touch base logically.